All right, tonight, we're going to recap the 2025 NFC season. We did the AFC last week, if you guys remember. I'm surprised we're actually still allowed on YouTube after last week, to be quite honest with you. Of course, we're going to check our DMs. I bet there's going to be some exciting things that might have slid in there. We're going to catch up on the bet of the year. That's right. We've got beer as well. And we've got trivia. Hey, I'm JT, by the way. We are the 50,000 watt voice of the numbers, guys. This show is BS. Are you guys ready?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ready, dope.
All right, let's do it.
This is the 50,000 watt voice of the numbers guys in the Motor City.
And now, live from Studio 8B, it's time to BS with the guys.
Well, what is going on, Numbers Nation? Hey, listen, if you're seeing us on YouTube, and that's really the only place to see us, it's great to be with you. It really is. And if you're catching us live on YouTube, please do me a favor. Feel free to chime in the chat and say hello. We'd love to hear from you. And thanks for hanging out with us. I know a lot of you guys hung out with us for 4 hours last week, and you came back for more. We appreciate that. Really do. A little surprising, actually. Yeah. I didn't introduce you yet. You were making sounds over there.
I heard it was a record show last week.
Record show.
I also heard that we had a record for number of subscribers, too.
I think we picked up 8.
8. That's probably a record.
Yeah, it has to be. Yeah. It's a good show.
It's going to be hard to live up to that.
I don't
This is
remember
my favorite
about
show
half
here,
of
though.
last week's show. I had to watch it back.
This is my favorite cast here, though. This is my favorite group of the numbers guys. If you're going to put your
Yeah.
if you're going to
I agree with you.
If you're going to put your favorite lineup,
If you're the all-star lineup, right.
yeah, like some were saying, if you were doing your Pistons lineup, would you have Chauncey and Isaiah both in your backcourt?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Would you have Joe D there?
That's a tough call, really. I guess I never really thought about it. Rip, yeah, you could have Rip back there.
But if you're doing your numbers, guys, geez, it's hard to beat this one.
It really is. This is, it's only two buttons for me to hit over here, so I like that too.
On the ones and the twos.
Yeah, both of them.
Pretty good.
1 and 2. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Thanks for checking us out if you're live, by the way. Thanks for hanging out. Look forward to seeing you in the chat. And if you would rather text me, us, you can do that. That number, TNG Live 007, also known as 864-548-3007. And listen, folks, if we provide you any sort of value tonight's going to be a pretty low on value show.
Low on value.
Low on value.
I thought you said low on values.
That too. I think that was last week. Okay. Man, there was a lot of cussing in last week's show.
Who was the
Me.
son of a
Yeah, I have a couple of beers. I start to swear like a sailor. It's not good.
drink like a Mick?
Yeah. Radio edit.
Oh, jeepers.
Value. Yeah, if we provide you any of that tonight, do me a favor. It's real easy to do. If you look down below the video, you're going to see a thumb. Looks like this, pointing upward. Look at you're hitching a ride. Hit that. That's called a like. We would really appreciate it. And or your subscription. We're trying to get to 300. 300 subs. That shouldn't be too tough.
Baby steps.
Yeah, we've only been doing it, how long now?
Well, it was the late 70s.
Yeah, we'll get there. We get about 3 subscribers per decade. Just go ahead and subscribe to the numbers, guys. It would be big league appreciated. Now with me, folks, for the entire hour. To my right, your left, the man without a hat.
For the hour.
Yes. D-Dub, how are you, pal?
I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah, you made it just in the nick of time.
I just made it in the nick of time. I was putting my pick in on the fly on the road.
Yeah.
And that's a dangerous way to drive. I don't recommend it.
Not recommended.
It's going to be a good one though. It's going to kick off at 8:30. So I should probably make mention of it now, huh? I got USA Hockey parlayed. They say a lot of sharp bettors parlay things. Parlay the USA Hockey with tomorrow night's Michigan State money line. They're playing at Ann Arbor.
Oh, the Wolverines.
Michigan Wolverines.
Interesting.
Should be a good game. I think it's at 8 or 8. I think it's at 8. Should be a good one.
That's a hometown Tones type of deal there. You got your alma mater and your country.
Yes, sir. Yes, USA ho.
Yeah. Okay.
You know who that is?
It sounded a little bit like Hacksaw Jim
That's
Duggan
right.
in a way. Is that who
Yes,
it was?
sir.
Yeah, Hacksaw. Oh, okay. Yeah, I like that guy.
So
We kind of indirectly know him.
We do. My one of my clients is a cousin of the great 2-time cancer-beating.
Yeah.
What's his name again? Hacksaw. Jim. Ho.
Oh, I
Duggan.
wish I had a drop for Hacksaw. I should get one. I'll do that.
Did I ever tell that story about the time that when we were in high school and we were my buddy Latatime, and he's the drummer, and my buddy Tex, and my buddy Dennis. I know you met him once or twice. They were
Physical therapist, that guy.
They were in a yes. They were in a band at the time, high school band, and we had just graduated high school, and they got a gig playing at Media Play in.
Oh, no kidding!
Shelby
I didn't know they had
Township. Not traditionally, no, but they did have them play. I don't know if it was an acoustic set, or what, but it was pretty awesome. We were pretty high at that moment, not high on drugs, but high on
life.
success and life. Not that I was in the band, but I just these
like
guys
their
were
biggest groupie.
This was their big thing. Yeah, I was a groupie.
What was the name of the band?
Feedback, which I told them from the beginning was horrible. I said you should either make it feed bag. See, you got at least a chuckle out of that.
that's true. Yeah,
or the Conformers.
The Conformers.
Yeah.
I have a feeling they were pretty conforming.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Huh.
Just a bunch
So that's
of,
like the anti-rock and roll.
just a bunch of band dorks forming a rock
A
band.
rock band. The Conformers. The Conformists.
Yeah. Conformists, I don't know.
Yeah, I like either one of those.
So anyways, we went to Media Play.
Wait a minute. We'll go ahead. The grand entrance. The man who says he messes with time, he said in his text
He
as
did
to
a
why he's going to be late.
Special continuum.
He messes with time. Richie's in the house. His fly is up and everything. What's going on, Rico?
Wow. He's got the Spartan gear on.
Yeah, you ready to go, Rich?
I'm ready to go. It's the USA Hockey thing. It's a big deal, I guess, out there.
Yeah, 8 o'clock. We should probably put that on. I hate to turn
8
chips
or
off.
8:30? Is it 8?
I think it's 8. Yeah.
40 minutes from now, whatever time that is.
Yeah, it's more like 8:30. Somewhere in between.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, we're at Media Play, and we're going through the bargain bin.
Yes.
And there's a WWF Superstars CD in there. $5 or $2.
Okay.
So we bought a couple of those. And that night we were at a party and they were blasting that all through the party. Whoever got a chance would put that in.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Blast it. And one of the songs was about Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yes.
And the gist of it was Hacksaw Jim Duggan beats people up. Hacksaw. Ho!
Those were the lyrics?
That was, yeah. Somebody can chime in with the rest of the lyrics, but
Yeah, Gagu, you familiar with that one? No? I don't know. We'll see. She still doesn't know how to use the chat. We got to teach her.
well,
next time
I also heard that we're gonna be taking calls to the show here.
Oh, we are.
I'd heard this.
Did not know that.
I heard that.
That's an exciting development.
Well,
Yeah.
that will
Was
be.
that from our technical director might have mentioned? I didn't hear this.
So I think that'll add a pretty special element. It'll be a live call-in show. Possibly,
To get someone behind the glass.
Yeah.
possibly
Yeah.
next week. Now,
Well, possibly next week.
I've heard that we don't have the screen caller technology.
No, we can't
So
screen anything.
there's not going to be.
No.
That
We could
be,
if we had like a person that was actually working on this.
We're going to kind of Ron Burgundy through them.
Okay.
You know.
I like it.
So that's just what I heard. I don't want to break any news.
That was breaking. Late breaking news. And next to you, D-Dub. The man fresh out of Compton? No, straight out of, where are you from? Florida.
Linwood.
Florida.
Cleveland?
I thought you were in Florida.
No, we're in beautiful downtown Cleveland.
That's why you mentioned something about Cleveland. I said, that's really not on the way to Florida. I thought maybe you took a detour. Why do you think you were going to Florida? I know
I
Jones is in
wish the
Florida.
weather would have been a lot better. It was, we couldn't even leave the hotel all weekend. I'm sure we got quite a bit of snow up here too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, plenty of snow.
Yeah, we were right off the lake there, like next to, apparently they built Brown Stadium. It's like right on the water, the shoreline. So, I mean, the winds were whipping, like coming off that lake, and it was like sideways snow all day.
No kidding.
Yeah, we didn't leave it was nice because it was connected to the convention center. So you could like walk from your hotel room to the volleyball. So
Oh, that's cool.
that was cool.
What hotel was it? Do you remember?
It was a Hilton.
Hilton?
Yeah, downtown Hilton, Cleveland is what they called it, I believe.
You stayed, did you guys, well, you guys didn't go anywhere, but the arcade there in Cleveland's called?
No, we didn't get out much. I think some parents went out for brunch on Sunday before it got really nasty, but no, we didn't. We missed out on it. Really going out. It looks like a nice city. I mean, kind
That's
of
cool.
like Detroit-ish down there.
Yeah. Yeah, Cleveland's
You
cool.
drive right in, Progressive Field, right next to the Cap Stadium. It's like, it kind of almost looks like you're going to drive into it from the freeway.
Right.
It's just right there, and then you get off, and you literally drive right next to it. It's like right in the next, just like a downtown center area. A couple blocks over, you get over to the maybe half a mile towards the lake there. Work your way to the hotel over there, and that's where Brown Stadium is, whatever they call that.
What did you, what was your feeling on those bridges?
Oh,
Out of curiosity.
only really one. There's not really that many bridges over there.
There's that one you got to go on almost, though, to get
I
in
seen
there.
one from the hotel room that looked like a kind of a cool bridge, but I don't even remember if I went over it the way I came into town. Maybe
Okay.
one, but it wasn't a big deal. The Toledo Bridge stood out way more than any bridge
Yeah, that one sucks, too. Well, they all suck, but yeah.
This Hacksaw deal, though, did they kind of do that remix of his USA in there? Like in the background? Like,
Yeah.
USA.
Yes, they did. Also, there was a.
We might
what
be
do you-
able to play that. I'm not sure that there's any copyright on that.
I don't think anybody's going to.
No, nobody gives a shit.
What do you
looking for
call
that.
it? What do you call it when in like a song when all of a sudden somebody stops and it's like not the music doesn't stop, but somebody just sort of starts talking to you, like
Rap?
no talking,
Like
like not rapping, like at one point he goes, "I get a little apprehensive. I look at the corner and the guy's a little bigger and he's a little faster and he's a little smarter than me. But then I think to myself, I got the American flag, I got my 2x4 and something else.
Like they call it autobiographical aside.
Maybe, let's say that.
Because Pete Townsend did that a lot in songs.
Example.
I was just trying to think of one. I think I could think of one. Oh my God, there's got to be a ton of them on Quadrophenia, right? I would think.
It's the bellboy?
Well, Bellboy would. Yeah, sure. I've got a job and I'm newly born. Yeah, that was Keith Moon doing that one, but that's okay.
They say,
Anywho.
see me in my uniform.
Yeah, it's a great album. One of my favorites of all time. Hey, you guys know how we start every show off? Rich, you missed it last. Why don't you lead us in here with what we start every single show off with? You looked at the itinerary. You don't know yet?
Libation?
Yeah, there it is.
Tasty beers or fine bourbons for our face holes to try. It's libation exploration with the numbers guys.
And we are back in Studio 8B. Tonight's libation courtesy of me because this is like the 5th week in a row I think I've had a pint of
Gee
beer.
whiz.
Tonight I really worked on the trivia. I've tried to get one that only one of you guys might
Felt
get.
bad I wasn't there. I actually knew it.
Did you know it?
Yeah.
Son of a gun.
Would have put them into a Rochambeau for you.
Yeah, I would have liked that, man. Tonight's beer is Voodoo Ranger from New Belgium. We've had Voodoo Ranger. a lot
Yeah, I
on
was
this
actually
show.
just putting down the Juice Force over here. I didn't know we
Yeah,
were having
pretty
another
good.
Voodoo.
Yeah. This is their Imperial IPA. Let me put this here on the screen. New Belgium Voodoo Ranger. 9% ABV. A little lower. I think the other ones were 9.5, right?
Oh, I thought the Imperial would be higher.
That's what I would thought, but I think
Sounds like the Death Force is coming in with Imperial.
okay, Juicy Haze I also have 7.5, but I think the one Rich has is 9.5. I think. Anyway, 9.0, 70 IBUs. It should be pretty hoppy taste and a little bit bitter.
Hoppy.
Delta, Bravo, Centennial, Cascade, Calypso, Mosaic hops. The malt is pale and black. You can find it in Fort Collins, Colorado. Incidentally, that's where Stacy wants to go. No, she wants to go to Golden, Colorado. Yeah, Golden, Colorado. And this is part of their
Where the streams are just a little bit bluer.
yeah.
The mountains.
The mountain stream. Go ahead, let Dub's going to give this a taste. I will pour this in my cup, and let's see
Whoa.
Very happy.
what this tastes like. Very happy.
9%. That's a plus in the plus column.
Sure.
Extra happy. That's in the negative column.
Okay.
The color is nice. A nice golden amber.
see if I can angle
Ember?
this differently.
Looks like a man's beer.
Yeah, it's not at all hazy. That
Like a man
means
on a
anything,
man
yeah.
show. That's the type of
Yeah.
beer they'd put down. Nice head.
Looks like, I don't know, looks like maybe you should go see the doctor. A little dark, but foamy. You know what
Just
I'm saying?
probably institute a little more water into your diet. Probably all of us could use that a little bit. I like it though in a way. Like it's more than the hop that I would prefer, but once in a while, sure, why not? At 9%, I think you my original expectations were you're always going to get that, but as we've found over the past year or two, that's not usually the case. They can mask that stuff.
For sure.
In fact, I think in this case they're intentionally giving you that hoppy taste.
Yeah, they're blowing it in your face with
Yeah.
the hops, right?
3.6.
3.6 on the scale. By the way, before we go any further here, I should, for the people that have not seen the show before, we have a rating system for beer or other booze. It's going to be 5, you're driving across town for the shit. 4, you're going to buy it with no hesitation. 3, you're not going to kick it out of bed. 2, you'll choke it down for the show so you don't look like a bitch. And 1, hard pass, nastier than Flint's water. Richie, how you doing? What do you think?
I'm don't do it often, but I think Daryl's on the right track on this one. This kind of reminds me of the early days of tasting IPAs, where there's not much to it. If you're a hoppy guy, you're gonna like it. If you're not gonna like it. I prefer the ones like the Voodoo Ranger Juice Force over here. It's a little more my style. I like to mask that hoppiness a little bit. I'm with Daryl 3-4 here.
All right. This one, you know who would like this is Ethel, because this tastes a little bit like psychedelic cat grass. It's got that
I think she's
sticky-
coming out tonight.
Oh, yeah? Cool, man.
Hilltop?
Hilltop, sure. It's got that...
Would it be funny if we told her we were going to Hilltop and then we went somewhere else?
I'm karaoke at Wellington instead. That'd be
Lauren's
pretty
working the bar at Art and Jake's. She said we should be heading over there for the hockey game.
Was there a
Wow.
charity? What is celebrity bartender or what?
I think she just works over there when she can. That's all.
Lauren?
Yeah, Moffat. My daughter.
Oh, I thought you meant
thought-
realtor, Lauren.
I
No.
thought you were talking about the
Doesn't work at Art and
realtor.
Jake's. Oldest daughter. Lauren.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Is she allowed to bartend?
You're allowed to bartend when you're 17 now.
Wow.
You have to get like a certain license from the state, which she's had. So she's been bartending since 17.
No
but
kidding.
Art and Jake's, she's only been doing it recently.
Cool.
You got to kind of earn your way over there type deal. It's where the money's made, I'm told. Anyways, she said it sounds like it's going to be wherever you go, I'm sure everybody's going to be into this game tonight. It sounds like it's a big deal for a lot of people. I didn't really, kind of feed into that till today.
Hilltop will have some handball on. We'll have a lot of college basketball.
Now,
Yeah.
which kind of handball? There's 2 handballs.
There is 2 handballs, yeah.
The one that they play in Europe,
Yeah.
Okay.
which our friend Darko is a former semi-pro handball player. Did you know that?
I just don't want our American
I
handball
did.
players to be too disappointed.
The American one was the one we played in junior high, right? And we played it with the basketball net down or something.
I don't remember playing junior high. I have played it once, like in the last 10 years. It's like you use a racket ball and you wear a glove. You smack it with your hand against the wall. It's almost the same rules as racket ball.
Right, without the racket.
I think in junior high we played more the European style, if anything.
Okay.
Where you passed it.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's like a big tennis ball or something,
Yeah, like a squishy basketball, but smaller type thing or something.
something like that.
Between the 2 sizes there.
Darko said and he's not one to brag,
Right.
but he said he could really whip that thing.
I bet he could.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bigger dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Chris Payne in the house. What up, Chris? What up, Chris? He says, what up, boys? What up, Chris? I just said that. It's 3 times. What up, Chris? How you doing, buddy? Hope you're doing well down there in the ATL. By the way, speaking of the Hilltop Bar, tonight's libation is brought to you by the official bar of the Numbers Guys. That's the Hilltop Bar, D-Dub.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and Shelby. Did you know this?
I think I'd heard somebody say that.
Yeah.
And I also heard them say that we might be doing a live show next month.
Could be. Could
And
be.
I also heard it would have to be like around the NCAA basketball tournament.
Could be
Like
the
Thursday.
20th
Is
of.
it true to the rumor that Daryl has a urinal named after him?
I don't think
He's got
that's
a little
true.
gold plaque above it that says D-Dubs. But everybody else could use it. It's not exclusive to him.
Oh.
There's only 2 urinals in the place, right? I think.
Well, that makes more sense
I
now.
think
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah,
Is
so
there
if
two or
one is exclusively yours, and that's going to really,
No, that would be a
that's not
bad
fair.
idea.
Anyway, check out the Hilltop. Good burgers, good service, good people there. Really good people is what it's
You
what
got
it's all about.
Darko,
You do. You want to name
Lisa.
them? Okay.
You got Desiree.
Which you said was Destiny, and then
That
you
was
got mad
my
at Rich,
mistake.
and then you fucked it up. Yeah.
That was my mistake.
Right. It was your mistake.
Tia.
Tia, of course. She was on
There's
the show.
another gal, and I might like her the best of them all, but I don't know her name.
I know who you're talking about. I think she was there when me and Mrs. Midwest were there. She was very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, she leads into Lisa's shift, I think, right? Is that what you're...
I've seen her there on a weekend night when Lisa was maybe at a honky tonk or something.
Mm-hmm.
But nice gal. Somebody's chatting.
Oh,
Is that Aunt Deb?
Aunt Deb in the house. What's going on, Aunt Deb? Thank you for the card, by the way, for my birthday. Handmade.
Wow.
Pretty awesome.
Glitter?
Yeah, people know. No glitter. No glitter. She said she can't stay. The show is messing with her dinner time, but it's she's got to peel the plastic off the TV dinners. Who does it?
Totally get that.
Easy to prepare.
Was
Yeah.
anything better than a Hungry Man in college back in the day? That
How about
that
right
was a
now?
meal.
I mean, Hungry Man's pretty good. I'm not going to
Hungry
complain.
Man.
Yeah.
Gosh, you know how much it costs for a Hungry Man these days?
I'm gonna guess about $5.99.
I think it's like $7.99.
Oof, inflation is hit.
I think you can get it cheaper, on special and whatnot. But
With a coupon?
yeah, with the coupon.
Yeah, Bernie Coupon. By the way, Tones is on vacation.
Tones?
Yeah, he's in Florida.
I thought he was up in Boston watching the game.
No, he should be. I missed that game, the USA Canada game, so I'm kind of excited to watch this.
By the way, Jimmy, is that a Z shirt?
No, it's an S.
Oh,
It's an S.
you never seen that SNL sketch. Is that a Z shirt?
I did see that SNL sketch. Yeah, I just saw it on the 50th. Did you watch the 50th
Yes.
thing? Yeah.
Is that an
Yeah,
A shirt?
Right. Yeah, it
Is
was
that a
funny.
B shirt?
That was cute. Oh, and Chris says happy belated birthday, Jim. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that, man.
So where's
Appreciate
Stones?
that.
Orlando, you said?
Yeah, I think partially.
Partially, and then
The kids, this is a kid vacation?
yeah, he's got the kids.
It's not Comic Con, but
I mean, what is?
Yeah, and his in-laws have a house or condo in West Palm, I want to say, or what's
All right.
over there on the
Hopefully he's got
ocean side.
some good weather going on down there.
Yeah, I
that's
think so.
Mar-a-Lago over there, I believe.
Maybe that's where he's actually at. I don't know.
I think you want to be in East Palm.
South Palm. Is there? I don't know. Okay. I didn't rate this. I'm going to give this. I don't really particularly care for this. I don't know. It has that
Wow.
sticky taste. I don't
Shocking.
like that.
I
I'm going
feel
to give
like
it
a
a
year and a
3.
half ago, this was a 4.3 minimum. I don't know if Jim's ever rated an IPA so low.
Yeah, not usually. I don't care for
What
that.
did you call it?
Huh?
What'd you call it?
What did I say?
3.4?
3,
3.3.
4, 3.
So I feel like you're evolving here as an IPA drinker.
I might be.
You're coming.
Or just as
we're
a drinker
coming
in
up. You're
general.
coming down. We're all.
Somebody said on the chat
IPA
last
pros.
week that he was too easy.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey,
When it comes to beer,
going
Oh.
against the grain tonight. We did try that homemade ouzo last week, so that was something. That's sitting back there. Rich, you didn't get to try one. You want to give it a shot there?
what is it?
It's like a homemade
Oh.
sambuca
No.
slash ouzo
Oh,
type of.
I heard it. I thought I heard. Did Daryl throw up?
I didn't drink it.
You didn't
I,
drink it.
I can't do licorice. I cannot. If it was red licorice, somebody should come out with a red licorice liquor.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
That would be good. All right. Yeah, he must be interviewing for Doge. That's possible. Tones, I think, would be great on Doge. He's one of those. What do they call geniuses? Young geniuses that wear T-shirts all the time and shit. Yeah,
He's like young Sheldon.
he is like young Sheldon.
As long as he doesn't interview for a position at Dogecoin,
Yeah,
get messed up.
that's for sure. Hey, you guys know, I don't know if you guys know this or not, the viewers that are tuning in live or the viewers that are seeing this after the fact, we have a pretty big social media presence
yeah.
exclusively on X. Nowhere else, just
One
on
of my
X.
favorite parts of the show these days.
Yeah, it's one of the best parts of the show. So what we do is D-Dub's in charge of our social media, and he gets a ton of DMs. And he likes to read a few of these live on the show, so this is called Sliding Into Our DMs.
Who's that numbers guys fan sliding into our DMs? Is it a request for Tones to chat about his BMs? Or for Dubs to tell us he's a Hilltop man? Maybe it's for JT from the Proud Boys clan. It could be for Richie. Queens Bar is where you'll see him. You never know what we get. Sliding into our DMs. Sliding into our DMs. Sliding into our DMs.
Man, if you thought Libation Exploration was a hit, that one's got hit written all over it, that song,
That's
doesn't
good.
it?
I like that.
Yeah.
The song might be the best part of the.
You've been known to
That's-
shush our guest over that song.
Yeah, he likes it so much. He
I never
shushed
heard
somebody.
it before.
Yeah. All right, D-Dub, what are we getting their DMs this week?
DMs this week for the week ending February 20th, 2025.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to this week's show. The cute one's back. That's from Queens 313. D-Dub, there's a new urban legend that's popped up in Metro D. Did you play Chunk and Goonies?
Oh.
It's from Spielberg fan 112.
Did Spielberg direct Goonies?
I thought so.
I don't know. I think he might have.
I did not know that. Interesting. Okay.
Maybe he just produced it like he did with Star Wars or
I thought you
not Star
might be
Wars.
right. I don't know.
Indiana Jones. Didn't he produce?
Yeah, George Lucas did. Indiana Jones, right?
I think you're right.
Okay.
Best burger in Detroit. Nemo's? Question mark? Exclamation point.
I gotta
I don't
say
think
no.
so.
No.
No.
I mean, it's good. I'm not going to complain. But
That's from
if
498.
I'm putting on a
GPA.
couple beers before any game of some sorts, it's just fine, but it ain't the best.
right.
So that used to be the home of the old Tiger Stadium right across the street, right?
Yep.
yeah, sure.
And now there's really nothing over there in Corktown. It's just
Well, it's pretty busy over
it
there.
is. And I was told by a city planner that part of Detroit never went down, super down in value like the rest of the city did.
Okay.
So I guess
I
people
like that
really-
area. It's a nice
yeah,
area.
it is nice. Okay, I'm ready to switch my tankless hot water heater for an old school. Can you give me Kevin's number? That's from Christian with the K. I think we
Oh, that was the guy that was, about the
from him,
tankless
must have gave up.
Takaki?
few times last week. I'm not giving that out over the air, but DM.
Hey, DM him. Yeah. You
Yeah,
can- right.
we'll get a hold of Kevin and we'll see if we can make it work.
I had to look up after the show what a tankless Tagaki is because Kevin said it's in demand. I don't know if you caught that.
I
He
did
said,
catch
he
that,
said
yes.
it's an in-demand tankless hot water tank.
From what I know of him through Kevin, basically I just know that he's not a big fan of them
Okay.
because I had to get a new hot water heater and he did not recommend it.
Oh, he said no to the tankless Tagaki.
He said, nah. He said, you want oh God, I forgot the name of it. It's like,
Is it tankless?
no. It's the old school.
He's
Yeah.
against tankless altogether, right?
Yeah, he's from a different generation though.
Sure,
so.
yeah.
But I
He's
think
60
he's right.
for
There's
crying
more
out loud.
maintenance on one of those things. You don't have to do any maintenance on a regular hot
Well,
water
poor
heater.
Christian was DMing 3-4 times, and every time he ran into a wall.
He had some error codes going on.
Nuts were-
911 code? That sounded pretty problematic.
Going to Hilltop tonight? Question mark. You'll get some leg tonight for sure. Tell us how you do. That's from David
David
Lee
Lee
Money
Roth.
84. Great show. Define great. That's from Tom BF.
Thought that had been from D. Letterman.
Define.
Last but not least, Richie, what do you like? Who do you like this week? Spartans or Wolverines?
I think the shirt says it all. You gotta go Spartans.
Game Saturday night?
Wolverine. Spartans
night.
look good.
Friday
I
night.
mean, they're on. I mean, they. I got a little worried when they lost to Indiana there, but boy, they. I did catch the last 2 minutes of that Illinois game in Cleveland. That was crazy. They reeled off 14 straight, whatever it was, and then the way they took down Purdue was impressive the other night. So we'll see.
I was at a musical that night.
Yeah, you had started to say this to me earlier.
Is this on the agenda?
No, I would like to know more about what you went to a musical?
I did. I'm gonna ask. What's her name again? Ethel.
Cats? Ethel?
I'm gonna ask her what the name of it was because, to be honest, I don't remember the name of it.
Book of Mormon.
Oh. Could be. Hair?
What was the name of that musical?
Mamma Mia.
So you know what it was about? Was
That might help us figure out the name.
it was about? You ever heard of Gander, Newfoundland?
No.
in Canada.
Gander Mountain.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
It's a city in Canada on one of its island most remote.
Like Nova Scotia way.
Yeah, farther. St. John's.
Yeah, you're heading out towards our
That's about
Arctic
as-
Circle out there.
Well, you're sort of staying.
Greenland way.
I mean, you're heading in that direction. You got to take a couple ferries to get there.
We gotcha.
Anyways, there's this town called Gander, and it's got like the biggest airport, like in North America.
Yeah.
And Ethel, she says, "Come from away." It's called "Come from away."
Never heard of that.
"Come sail away." I've
from
heard you sing
Styx.
that.
Yeah,
quite
I
a
like
few
that.
times.
Yeah.
"Come from away." So it was about this airport. It was a huge airport because back in the day, all these planes had to land. They were going overseas to gas up.
So it was like the halfway point type of thing.
Yeah, to gas up before you went overseas,
Okay.
over the pond, as they say.
Right. Okay.
And so this was about how during 9/11, when all those planes were in the air, when this other tragedy was going on,
yeah.
they needed some place to put all these planes. They redirected them all to this island in Newfoundland.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And so this town of like 100 people now had like 700 travelers landing in their town. And if you remember 9/11,
I do.
they didn't fly again for like, 3 or 4 days?
God, I don't really remember
It was-
It
that.
was that long, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was a couple days for sure.
Yeah, so they ended up, all the locals ended up putting all these 700 people up.
Sounds more like a documentary. This was a musical?
This is a musical. They sang most of the time, and I gotta say it was pretty good.
Okay.
It was at the Fisher Theater.
Yeah. That's a nice
I
place.
almost had like a panic because we sat down and it was a little tight seating,
Panic attack.
and I was like sitting there and I'm thinking, how the hell am I gonna get out of here?
How are you going to sit here for several hours for this musical?
I'm like, if I had a panic attack, how would I get out of here? And it almost drove me into having a panic attack.
That's a problem with panic attacks.
So
You start to think
you
more about
start
it. Yeah.
to think, and then all hell breaks loose, basically.
Well, according to the text, this guy didn't have a panic attack on a flight when he stopped in Newfoundland, but it's looking like a passenger had a heart attack.
Oh, well, this is from directly from the Hotel Putt. It sounds like, yeah,
In the house?
yeah. He's Brian says he flew into Newfoundland once, and a guy had a heart attack coming back from Europe. Did you have to stop in Newfoundland, or were you on your way to Newfoundland intentionally?
I don't think so.
But-
I think I got redirected.
I might as well catch up on the chat here too. Chris says very catchy, loves it. What's up, Chris? I'm glad you like that. I dedicate that to you, buddy. And Realtor Lauren says, "Hi guys, hi Realtor Lauren. Missed you last week, Realtor.
Yeah, that's weird. She wasn't on.
She was awfully quiet last week. Bizarre.
Yeah,
She's got her favorites.
Yeah, that's understandable.
her in Queens.
So it was a good show though. Good show.
Oh, very good. Very good. Went ahead of time. I went to I had a little cocktail.
Yeah.
I always mess that up. That was pretty cool. That little place we found just out of nowhere.
And the name of that was J&J or something like that. You said.
Yeah, time stand still or
Yeah, where was
It's a Rush
that?
song.
time. It was right on Woodward.
Are we closer to the Fisher?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and
I don't know too many places on that side of town.
No, what's that? Technically News Center, or is that
News Center, I
considered?
thought.
Yeah.
I don't know because it's not quite. It's not like it's still like a mile away from the
College kind of.
yeah,
Yeah, it might still
and
be
the Magic
that.
Stick and all that.
Right.
Yeah, you're closer to like the Detroit Department of Education has like a big office, like connected to the Fisher or something like that.
I don't know if I have the name of that. If anybody remembers, I think it was like Time
I thought you had it right when you said it. Time's forgotten,
something like that.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I liked about it was you walk in,
Yeah.
you open the door,
Okay.
and then they have a velvet curtain up, so you're not like right in the bar.
That is cool.
Kind of blocks the cold air and
Was it
Yeah.
supposed to be like a speakeasy type thing?
more like just like I don't want to say a martini, but just like a cocktail bar where you're gonna get a fancy,
All those speakeasies kind of put that bar up or what, something to
That-
block your view.
those
of the,
places you usually have to find the door, right? It's like you got to move a couple bricks or something like that.
Yeah, you got to put your finger in the peephole or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that place was cool. And then afterwards, we went to Sapino's,
I got a
which
pie
you've
over
been to
there.
the old one. I know that we've gone there
been
together.
there.
But the new one is it's been there 5 years. But it's pretty
Oh,
awesome.
there's another location?
Yeah, that one's right there as well on Woodward. Farther away, farther.
Because the other one wasn't getting restored for the fire this summer or
Yes,
something?
yeah. I think it's been open since last summer, but it was
Okay.
shut down for a
I
while.
didn't know there's 2 locations.
Yeah, and it's got a nice bar, and it's got delicious food. Pizza's good, and the pastas are all
Pastas are good
homemade.
too.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
By the way, Realtor Lauren says, we all know she only comes for the cute guy. If he's not there, then it's a no-go. Sorry, guys. I'm here every week. I don't know what she's talking about.
She's talking about the cute one.
Oh, I thought. Oh, she's talking about Rich? Is that? Oh, okay.
I think
All right,
she's
well,
she
Everybody's
might
got their own taste, I guess.
She might be Queen's 313.
that might be Queen's 313. So you enjoyed it? You had a good time? You had a good pie? You
Grand
had some
old
good
time.
cocktails?
Oh, yes.
What amaretto you had? Some amaretto you were telling me?
Amaretto,
Yeah.
amaretto egg white sour.
Yeah, you like those. You like your egg whites in a drink.
I mean, I don't know. I never really had a regular amaretto sour, but
How expensive is that got to be with the cost of eggs being so high? Does that affect the price on that?
I would think so.
Yeah. Like I like
Yeah.
chili omelets from like Coney Island, like Phoenix and whatnot. I don't think they really raised their prices on those. There's probably enough margin in there to absorb some major egg price hike, I would assume. But
I don't know about margarine, but I tell
Yeah,
you that
margarine,
egg is
sure.
worse than the oil crisis of the 80s. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
Yeah, you can even buy more than like 96 at Costco right now.
oh, no kidding.
They limit you?
Yeah.
What do they sell them in, 36 packs?
I think so. I tried to do the quick math. I might have been a little off there, but you're limited to the 3 of them. I know that much.
Okay.
No kidding.
That's a lot of eggs, though. You
Yeah,
have
that's
to
a
be
lot of
doing
eggs.
2
some,
weeks. That just feels like a lot of waste going on there, unless you're a baker.
Right. Yeah, you'd have to have a lot of use for eggs.
that's a name of your next band.
A lot of use for eggs.
No use for eggs.
The czars of knowledge that isn't learned in college. It's the Numbers Guys Trivia.
Oh, I got sent a link here, too.
We do this every week to determine who's going to be buying the beer the following week. We play a little numbers guys trivia. The way this works, folks, is if everybody gets it right, I'm at a disadvantage again because there's only 2 of you. 2 of you.
I don't like this. I'm scared.
Yeah, if everybody gets it right, I got to buy the beer. If nobody gets it right, I also have to buy the beer. And whoever gets it wrong, if let's assume one of these guys gets it wrong, then they got to buy the beer next week. Tonight's Numbers Guys trivia question is as follows: plus or minus 1. Give you guys a little leeway here. Plus or minus 1. How many times has Tiger Woods won the PGA Tour Player of the Year title? Plus or minus 1. How many times has Tiger Woods won the PGA Tour Player of the Year title? And we will reveal the answer to Numbers Guys Trivia later on in the show. You just got to be close, within 1 either way. Everybody's thinking hard.
Oh, I'm done.
I'm gonna guess.
I guess.
Richie
yeah.
already got it. Yeah, I'm going to take a guess.
I feel like I'm low, but
I'm probably low, too.
Yeah. I just want to take a quick second and talk about the bet of the year. This was probably, 5 shows ago? We revealed the bet of the year. D-Dub, or Rich, what do you guys want to talk about what the bet of the year was?
Go ahead, Rich.
well, I think we're just.
I'm going to pull it up, and while you're explaining it, I'm going to pull it up for you guys.
Sure. I think we were reminiscing about our Tiger pick, and that kind of led into discussion on why we maybe the Pistons were hot at the time or just warming up, and we were like, hey, why are we not jumping on the Pistons here? This team is locked and loaded for a playoff spot, but yet they weren't getting the love yet on the website. So I think we all jumped in for some Eastern Conference final odds at 50 to 1.
50 to 1 is what we got, and then I brought it back the next show as an official bet of the year.
500 to 1?
It's 500.
Or 500
Sorry.
to 1. I'm sorry. Yeah, 500 to 1.
There's
You're
a
right.
slight difference there.
That's a big difference.
That's
Yeah,
a whole nother
it was
zero.
50,000. So 500 to 1.
500 to 1, my bad.
Then on the show, it was 29 to 1, which was still a good number. And if we look now at where this is, D-Dub's looking, we got in at 50 to 1, of course, but
500.
Yeah, 500 to 1. Jeez, thank you. Let me just pull this up real quick. What is our bet worth right now, Dub?
Currently, so we each put 25 on it. It's at $200, and that was the 75 portion. So you'd have to divide it by 3 and then add that to it. So what would that be? 266. We've almost made $200. We've almost made we've made $166, 83 some odd percent.
That's not bad
Not for just sitting on it for
for doing nothing.
We did this on 1/16, so it's only been 35 days.
It hasn't been very long.
Yeah.
And I'll pull this up. And like I said, when we made it official on the show as the bet of the year, it was 290 to 1.
Yeah.
290 to 1. So plus 29,000. Right now, you can still get 25,000 at 4 wins, but nobody has that. So best number right now is 20. So it's plus 20,000 over at DK. We put it at FanDuel. It was 29 to 1 during this show. That was the best number. It's now 11,000 plus 11,000. So
You know what's the fun part about this one? Or depends on you. How do you define fun? But up and down, it changes almost by the minute.
yeah.
Not literally the minute, but I'll give you an example. I had texted out a picture of it, of what our bets were looking like at midnight, just after midnight. And then when I saw your mother, that sounds...
No, but it's okay. You see my mom.
When I saw your mother like 9-10 hours later, it had fallen. This was all post All-Star game. It was early Tuesday morning into Tuesday morning at 10.
Yeah.
And it had dropped for no real reason, $20 or whatever it was. Like, well, I don't, it's just an up and down thing now. You just never know what their algorithm is going to spit out in terms of a cash out offer.
Sure. Now, here's the thing. At 200 to 1, still worthwhile. They got to figure the Pistons have right now about an 80% chance of making it to the playoffs. And my thinking is if they get the 6th seed, which that is where they're at right now, and I know we still got, another month and a half worth of basketball.
Halfway through, though, right? More than like 65% through?
I was going to say about 6 weeks left, something like that.
Yeah, about 6 weeks left.
Yeah, here's the thing I like, too, is like, it's been a little bit of an up and down ride since that bet. They lost 3 in a row, but then they'd win 4, 5, 6 in a row, whatever it was. And here we are again. I'm pretty sure when we got this bet locked in, they were 2 games out of the 4 spot, and I believe they're there again.
Yeah, they're got the 6th seed right now.
I mean, there's almost no way they're not going to finish in the top 10. I mean, they have a 9 game difference. That's a lot bigger than what it was when we first laid the bet. It was like 2 games of either being in or 2 out. Now they have that nice buffer of at least getting into the play-in pretty easily.
Right.
What did you say earlier, Jimmy, that you're hoping for this to happen?
I want them to get through the first round.
Through the first round.
If they make it to the second round, that bet's going to be worth something. If they make the playoffs, it's obviously going to be worth more because that number should be more like plus 4,000.
So as a
Would be my
group,
guess,
we have $1. Let's just call it $1. How much do you anticipate that being worth after a first round sweep of the? Help me out. Who would they be
Pacers?
sweeping? The Pacers?
You figure if they make it through that first round, it's probably going to be 25-ish to 1 maybe to win the conference.
They would be offering us $2,500.
I don't know if they're going to be offering us $2,500. I have to plug it into a calculator to find out what the cash out equivalent would be.
Okay.
But that's probably what it's going to be because I think the Cavs last year, after they made it through the first round to win the conference, was about plus 2,500. I want to say I looked into it. So
That's where you could buy it at.
that's where you could actually bet it. Yeah, you could bet it at
so
that. So
that would be like 40 times divisible by what we got it for at 50,000, right?
yeah, I mean, I can tell you what it would be approximately worth here if you want.
We
Care that
were
much.
looking that up.
Or 20 times.
Traditionally, in the NBA Finals, kind of stays towards the top seeds, but there has been some runs. I didn't realize this, but when Mavs beat LeBron, they were the 7th seed in the playoffs that year, if you can believe it.
Jimmy, can you confirm that?
I don't have to confirm it. I just read
I don't
it.
need to. No, I'm not going to confirm it. I know it's usually the 1 and 2 seed that'll make it. from either conference.
Sure. Traditionally, it's a dominated. Yeah. So, I mean, I think, if we're getting offered a couple grand for that bet after round one, I would think we'd have to seriously consider not cash now, even though it'll be Piston fever at that time.
Yeah, no, I agree. So we put 100 on it. What's the total payout if we win?
50,000.
So the original odds were plus 50. That makes sense. What are and the current odds? Let's say we're going to say it's plus 2,500 at that point. Whoops.
Oh, 50. Yeah, we put 100 down, right?
It should be worth about $2,000, if that is.
All right, and you're saying take it.
I would say we turned 100 into 2,000. I'm fine with that.
Everybody gets. Can I do this math? 20 times their money back.
Yeah,
not bad.
And some of us have a lot more on it. They keep increasing their position on this particular bet. I'm not going to say who, but
and some of us haven't paid me for the first quarter of it.
Well, some of us just put $25 on something for you today
And
without
some
you paying
of
me.
us haven't paid me for that victory.
Oh, did you win?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
For all those betting on the total of the Marshall Thunder.
That was a
Turns out you can't get into
popular bet.
DraftKings at Grosse Pointe North High School.
Do they block? I
I was
block
on the
you?
Wi-Fi and it wouldn't
Oh,
let
well,
me
you're
into
on the
MGM.
Wi-Fi, of course. So anyway, if you took that bet, it should still be a pretty good bet. And man, if they make it through that first round, God, if they make it to the conference finals, let me tell you what the chance of that happening is. I think
I do have them. I got a boost from 70,000 NBA
2%.
Finals winner to 93,100.
to win the finals, Rich, you got
Yeah.
you got a
I have a $15 bet, so it'll pay 13,980.
nice.
If the miracle of Detroit happens this year.
I would be curious, Putt out there, if he has any futures bets that he'd like to share.
Yeah.
Share
What,
it in
what,
the chat.
what do you think the Tigers are this year? Or is that for a upcoming show here? I think we figured they got to
12.
be in the middle somewhere, right?
To win it all? Or to win the like we
Yeah,
did?
let's say win it all, I guess. I mean, they
I'm
did
going to
make
say somewhere between 10 and 20. I think you can get the Rangers. Is it the Rangers or the Diamondbacks? I think you can get the
Those are your two
Diamondbacks.
faves.
Those are going to be my faves. We're going to have a special. I heard that we're going to do a show on the MLB futures. In
Yeah,
the
we can do
very
that.
near future.
Anybody want what you guys are guessing
got?
here? Anybody want to take a guess what the best number Tigers to win the World Series?
18.
18-1.
18.
I'll say 35.
Well, I think here you go. Plus 3,500.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that, Matt?
And the Diamondbacks you can get 33.
Yep. Well, yeah, Pinnacle you can unless you have an account there.
Yeah, I'd heard 30.
32?
I'd heard 30 and
I think
32.
the Rangers are more favored than the Tigers. They're above them.
The Rangers are. That's one of my sleepers for sure. They are plus 2,700.
Gotcha.
So,
I think we might be better off waiting a little bit into the season.
I think so too. I don't think they're going to start as high. Like
the Tigers?
Yeah.
Oh, and Tones and I had Tigers futures on April 1st, and it didn't work out so good.
Yeah.
They were not good numbers.
Not
No,
good
there was
numbers,
there was higher expectations than you might have realized. I'm shocked though. 35 to 1.
it's the
the
win the whole
Tigers?
thing, though. That's a
Well,
Yeah.
if Jim has taught us anything, it's don't go for the whole home run. Go for the
Yeah.
base hit.
Try to hit a single.
hit a triple.
Putt now Putt has I'm sure he runs a sports book over there at the hotel, casino, and sports book. He says he does not though.
No futures.
No futures. No.
He didn't get a
futures.
chance to explain more about his Denver future that he had this past year on the win totals. Does that still count as a future? I think it does.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I
What-
think it is. 'Cause it's based
What do you
on
have? 10.5? Tell us about that one, Putt.
You
Yeah.
got it at 10.5.
Want me to call you, Putt? I can call you.
Do you have that technology?
Well, yeah, of course, I can call out.
And he
I've called. How many people? I've called people all the time on the show. Yeah, I don't have a graphic, but
the feller from Ottawa over
Yeah.
there.
That's true.
Snoop's been called before on the show.
That was a prank call.
While we're working on that, let's get into the NFC recap. This is what we promised everybody. Rich, I don't know if you tuned in.
I did.
Yeah, okay.
Of course I did.
So you know the way we're kind of doing this. Now the only problem is the timer is broken. I can't get it to work for whatever reason. So we're going to do it without the timer. but it'll
There's
be
like
the same effect here.
half as many people here this week. So
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, I don't think we
I
really
got a
need
couple
it.
DMs I didn't read this week about how they didn't like this segment last
Yeah,
week.
you were saying you didn't care for the segment. We got off the rails a little bit too, but we should be able to hammer this through pretty quick. And the other thing too is I know I had mentioned last week the value of betting. What was I saying last week about the season win totals? You should bet more than alternate. You should bet alternate lines.
Alternates, sure.
Yeah, for the season win totals. Here's what the NFC, they were off by 68.75% of the time. Off by 2 or more, these season win totals. And they were off by 3 or more, 50% of the time.
Wow.
So it's not a very efficient line, at least going into a preseason for sure. And then the NFL as a whole, off by 2 or more, 65.62% of the time, or off by 3 or more, 40.6% of the time.
and obviously if you're off by 3, that you're including a lot of the ones from the 2 already. So
Yes, that is correct. That is correct. And then Putt says he doesn't like Denver over 10.5. He may go with the under. May go with the under. Okay.
that's no Denver fan. Come on.
He's not a Denver fan. He saw it last year. He got the
Gotcha. I thought Dale was referring to him.
Well, that's a problem.
Laughed about the Sterling Marlin.
Sterling Marlin, yeah.
He's drove in like 20 years.
Wasn't entered
Kevin's
into the
not here
race.
this week.
Yeah,
Kevin's
Like,
I think that was one of my favorite parts of the show. I was laughing at Sterling Marlin. I haven't heard that in forever.
he went downriver to see him.
That was
He
hilarious.
signed his flag.
I remember very little from portions of last week's show. It's pretty bad.
You know, Putt's a big NASCAR guy. He does follow the.
He likes the
He'll
NASCAR?
go to 2-3 races a year.
Okay.
Try to let me know if I'm correct. I think Sterling Marlin might have been Dale Earnhardt's riding partner. Is that true?
I don't remember that. It's very possible, but I don't recall that being them being teammates. But I was into it for about 5 years, and they have some big teams. I don't remember. I know Earnhardt only had like 1 or 2 on his team though, so I don't know if Sterling was one of them or not.
How about Joe Gibbs Racing?
Joe Gibbs, I don't think he's around anymore.
Of the Redskins,
We lost Joe Gibbs?
We lost. We lost that team.
Oh. I heard he was looking to make a comeback with the Skins this year.
That Joe Gibbs? That same Joe Gibbs?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Rich, we'll start off with you. We're going to go through each and every team. We'll give you what the season win totals were prior in the preseason and how they actually finished. And then we can just interject our thoughts on the future of each one of these teams. And Rich, we'll start with you here, buddy. Again, no timer, but that's okay. I got music.
Okay, so we're talking about how the year recap real quick, and then
Yeah, you got the Eagles.
talking about next year. Well, obviously the Eagles Super Bowl winners here, so not surprising. I think at the beginning of the year, I don't know if I would have picked them to go over. They finished so badly last year; they kind of looked like a broken team. So I was kind of surprised on how they rebounded, and honestly, gives me hope for the Lions, seeing how they kind of crash landed in the playoffs. The Eagles did the same thing last year. No one remembers that anymore. As they talk about their future dynasty now. So it's funny how things changed in 1 year.
I feel almost the same way. I think this is why I kind of like San Francisco as a future for next year.
They were under their season win total.
Yes,
You can
they were.
imagine that,
I'm
yeah.
thinking about for 2025 now,
Okay.
like making some comparisons to the Eagles, and it's like Rich said, sort of a team we all sort of forgot about, and now same thing with the 49ers, right? They didn't make it into the playoffs like the Eagles did last year, but I still think. I heard that we might go over the NFL Super Bowl futures for next year.
Yeah,
In the next week or two.
for sure.
So that will be one of mine, San
You just
Francisco.
can't let go.
49ers, and then maybe the Lions. Somebody from the NFC. I think the NFC is showing their moxie.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. I'm with you on this one, Rich. I the way they finished last year, I kind of thought they were a dead duck, if you will, or maybe a dead eagle. Both birds, but
I'm like
we go.
Rich. I didn't like him like that bet early on, but then in December, really liked the over 10.5.
he really did. You try to put some on that? Yeah,
I couldn't get down
Couldn't
fast
get down
enough,
fast
but
enough. Yeah.
really liked it at that point.
How about this one? How about the
Real quick, also,
sorry.
one of my wagers tonight was Maryland. That game's tipping off. So if you want to get
Maryland
in,
money line?
Maryland, USC at Maryland.
Playing the points?
Laying 11.5.
11.5. It went up a point from the morning.
Maryland's got that cat that's supposed to be, was it Xavier or something? He's supposed to be like top notch.
Well, I also heard that we might be doing a college basketball Final Four champions. Future.
I think both of these are going to be next week. We're going to do that and the NFL Super Bowls.
Well, next week you'll hear that I do like Maryland to
maybe
for a Final
next
Four.
week's show is the Crystal Ball show where we just talk futures.
Yeah.
I like Maryland. I like Maryland as a wild card Final Four.
All right.
That's a get on it
Let's
now
off
before
with your favorite team here, Daryl.
What does that have to do with the commodes?
I think you have to bet against them, if anything, because of. I think you have to bet against them for next year, but obviously this was a winner in by Thanksgiving, right? I mean, they had a wild ride, and they also got a couple wins that they probably shouldn't have. Should have probably finished at 10-7.
Yeah. I was going to say, what do you think it's going to
still-
be next year? 10.5? Or you think
I mean, yeah.
I was going to say that. See, if it's 10.5, I don't like it. But if it's 9.5, I like it.
Right.
No, it's not going to be 9.5.
Yeah,
Not with
no.
17. I don't think so. I think it's going to be 10.5. I mean,
I just wonder with the...
it's actually out there right now. We could actually check it, but
save it for the show.
I have no clue. I haven't really looked at those. So, the 49ers might be a favorite to win the Super Bowl next year, and I'm going to look like an idiot. But I'm guessing they're in that tier below where you might get some value. I don't think there's going to be value on the Commanders. I think they're at a high.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I just wonder, like a lot of people do believe in the sophomore jinx. And, Stroud was right there. I can't remember what their over-under was, but I think a lot of people thought they were going to be under because of CJ. And I think they ended up right where they were supposed to, give or take a half a game. I don't, maybe you guys remember from last week's show, but, you talk about the Thanksgiving game. The Commodes could not beat the Cowboys, and that game was crazy. They had all the onside kicks, and the Cowboys put up 40-something points on them with their backup, and then somehow months later they're beating the Lions in the divisional game. So, like Daryl said, a really crazy up and down year. I think they take a step back next year. Next
We
week.
got the whistle.
We needed the timer after all.
You didn't have the
No, that's
timer.
part of the music.
Threw me off. I was wrapping up as
I was
the
shocked.
ball was going through the uprights.
I was shocked about the commodes. All right, let's go with the Cowboys. Cowboys, Rich, I'm sorry to say this. They're 3.5 under their season win total of 10.5. They went 7-10 was their regular season record this year. This is your team, Rich. Go ahead.
Yeah, not surprised they finished under. Didn't like the coaching hire. Don't like the coaching hire this year. I think they're just kind of stuck in mud because they're going to have to pay Micah all that money. And they're basically going to be paying 5 guys or 4 guys, 80% of their cap. Just can't function that way. And they don't have a good enough coach to get them over the top. I don't really see this team. I see this team being 8-8 like much in the 90s coming up in the next couple of years here, unfortunately, until they either get a salary cap hell or get rid of Dak. One of the two.
Where do you stand on Micah?
Got to sign him. Guy's a beast. One of the best edge rushers in the game. I think he's a game changer. He's got a little more attitude than I like. He seems to think he runs the show, but that's okay. I mean, he's on the field. He's a game rocker. He's a game changer. But
Maybe they play him at wide receiver.
maybe they do. I really don't like Dak there. I don't know why they pay him $50 million a year when you can get a guy in the draft and pay him $500,000 to do the same thing.
Yeah, I agree. He's one of the worst in my opinion.
He's just way
not liked
overpaid.
in the
They should just let him
household.
walk. Let him walk,
Yeah.
and they could have got their round pick from Drink Coupon. Yes, Dale. Bring it back, baby.
I'll give up my time if you want to read the comments on that.
Yeah, I'll first of all, Hotel Putt, the proprietor there, says "Boo Canada."
That's not a
It
good
must be on.
sign.
You guys want to put that on the TV there? It might be a good idea.
yeah.
White remote right there. Dale Dub. I'm sorry, Dale Dub. He says Cowboys skins best game of the year, and then he says bring Cue Ball back. Can't talk tonight. Bring Cue Ball back. What's going on, Dale Dub? Missed you this week. You were. You did. It was tough to get a word in. I think last week for you. Might have been. There was a lot of
Tankless water talk.
a lot of chat. Okay, so how about the New York Football Giants They were 3.5 under their season win total. Preseason is 6.5. Did you guys find it?
We found it.
Oh, you found it. Okay. They were 3-14. 3-14. That's not very good.
This would have been one of my favorite bets. I don't look at these hard enough.
Yeah, for the over or for the under?
The under. I mean, the Giants were. What was their? What was that?
6.5.
Yeah, I would have guessed they would have won 2 or 3, no doubt. I can't believe it was that high this year. Coming into the year. Talk about a team that's really lost. It'll be interesting if they take a quarterback here. They need one bad. Tommy, how many times are you going to run the Tommy Chicklets fella with that awesome agent? I mean, they just really in disarray, and I need to see an offseason to even get them close to 5 wins for next year. One of my favorite teams to see do poorly, though, for sure.
Yeah. I'm not a big Giants fan either. Dub?
So going back to the Redskins and comparing them to the Giants, they were in the same group of who's the worst team in the NFL. The Redskins really were right there. Mm-hmm. They maybe were like 4 or 5, and the Giants maybe were 1 or 2. But the Giants were 6.5 and the Skins were 7.5. So they were right there.
What a difference a quarterback can make.
What a difference.
Yeah.
The Giants under and the Skins over. I mean, can't get any easier than that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, Rich, I wasn't necessarily expecting to only get 3 wins. I thought the 6.5 was a pretty reasonable number, but
I just think
was wrong about that.
That was just a team that really had no chance coming in here with Daniel Jones, and of course he got hurt and didn't finish the year. He didn't even finish on the team, I don't think. Wasn't he on Minnesota?
He's on the Vikes. Sure. All right, here's one for you. This one's interesting. I'm so sad to say this, but the Lions, they were 4.5 over their preseason win total of 10.5. 15-2 they went.
That's when I had in some parlays. A couple of the overs that I did cash. Over 10.5. It seemed too easy, and by God, it was. That was another one that was over pretty quickly,
Yeah.
So that's what I'll do. I don't like to tie up money. Like if you wanted to win this one, it would have cost you tying up $110 to win a mere $100 for 5 months or whatever it is. So you gotta, for me to get any kind of thrill out of this, I gotta parlay it with something else. I think in my case it was like Scotty Scheffler to win the Masters and Sabalenka to win, I don't know, something, Wimbledon or something like that.
Wisconsin Green Bay to beat Detroit.
I've done that before, yes. In fact, I was at the Detroit versus Oakland game last Sunday.
I saw the gear.
Yeah.
You guys look good.
Yeah.
Another Oakland W, I'm sure.
Yeah, they had to go to overtime to do it, but Detroit really coughed that one up. They were up 3 with 25 to play, and
big
up
rivalry
3
there.
with 2. They got 2 and 20. How'd that go again?
Was that the I-75 rivalry?
Yeah, pretty much. Detroit coughs it up turns it over at the midcourt, and Oakland sinks a 3, goes to overtime.
I won't spend much time on this. It's obviously disappointing. The Lions they're built for the regular season. They're gonna have a tough schedule next year. Looking ahead, they got the NFC East and they got the AFC North. That's gonna be 2 tough divisions they gotta plow through next year. So I bet you the over/under's not too much different this year. I mean, they can get it done in the regular season. I think we all know that now. But what can they do in the playoffs? So.
Yeah, I think it'll be 10.5 again. Next year, I would think. Yeah.
I thought the Lions had a lot of injury problems.
They did this year, and they still finished over their
Thanks,
expectations.
Captain Obvious.
Yeah. That was sad. Sad with the Detroit Lions.
USA. Oh, they're down 1-0.
1-0. Ah, that might be why.
Plenty of time left.
We're missing a lot of good players, though, aren't we?
The Vikes also in our division.
In the hockey?
Hey, they were 7.5 over. Did you guys know this? The Vikings were 7.5 over their projected win total.
Wow.
Yeah, 6.5 was their number. That shit's whack. What do you think, Rich?
The quarterback expectations probably, right?
Yeah, I think I remember texting you guys when I heard JJ went down. I was kind of like, this team would be drafting number 1, but who knew the redheaded, the good redheaded stepchild was going to step up and,
Andy Dalton?
slinging around. Andy Dalton's uglier brother, Sam. Got it done this year.
Sam Dalton?
What do you do, Daryl? You bring him back? Piss off JJ another year? What do you? I mean, he kind of seems like a baby already about it.
Is that right? I haven't heard any of the commentary.
Well, he's worried he's not going to get a fair shot if they bring back Sam,
Oh,
which,
my God.
your first round pick when you go out there and earn it. Like,
Right.
not everything's handed to you in life, buddy. So if JJ's quarterback, I like the under. If Sam's back, I like the over.
I think
Okay.
of JJ as Jim Harbaugh type quarterback. You know,
Yeah, like Chuck
people remember him as Captain Comeback. That was after he'd already had 10 years in the league, and he stunk for the Bears and for a number of other teams. Probably
He had a good run with the Colts, if I recall.
it was the Colts. Ted Marchibroda.
Yes.
maybe.
Yeah, he was pretty. He was an odd traveling quarterback, but
Got it together after his 10th year in the league.
yeah, for sure.
And I don't expect JJ to do. He's just going to have to be a game manager, and he's got one of the better receivers in the league. And
A couple of them.
you know?
Yeah, Minnesota's definitely loaded at the receiver position and tight end. So
he's got some tools, but I mean, I don't think he's going to be
yeah.
overwhelming anybody, Jaden Daniels style or anything like
No.
that.
No, for sure. He can run it though. He can get things done. We'll see what happens. I just don't like his attitude already.
Yeah, you got anything for this, Jimmy?
I was with Tones on the over. I didn't expect it to be 7.5 games over naturally, but and that was when JJ was healthy, and then of course once he got hurt, I was with you guys saying, "Oh, geez, that's not going to be good." But yeah, so that one, not too surprised on, but I'm surprised on the margin as to which they exceeded expectation there. Next up, the pack, Richie. You like the pack? Oop, that's right. This one doesn't work there. Let me try this one. There you go.
Yeah, this was a roller coaster season. They somehow got it done, got 11 wins. What you got to remember is that they had a third place schedule or second place schedule, and this year they're going to pull the third place schedule again. So that's in their favor. I mean, they're going to be in the mix. They're always going to be competitive. I don't think this. I think Love. I think Love's a little overrated. He
I
has
agree
his
with you,
moments,
Rich.
but whenever you need him in the clutch, he doesn't seem to step up. And I haven't seen him really pull out a mega game yet when they needed it. So until I see that, I think the Packers are stuck kind of being a playoff team, but not doing anything.
It's hard to believe they were 11-6. Like they didn't seem
You threw that
like
out
an
there.
11-6
I would not
team,
have guessed
right?
that. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Seems like more of a 10-win, 9-win team, but I guess the extra game helps a little bit too. So
Yeah, it's still
W?
even though it's only one game, it seems like it really messes with what you think of a standard NFL season.
yeah, because you
Yeah.
think back in the day, 11-5, that was like
was
a
very
great
good.
A
team.
great team.
All those
right?
Lions teams, not too many of them got past 10.
No, maybe one or two, right?
I think one, but I'm probably wrong. But most, 10-6, 9-7, those were pretty typical numbers, and sometimes they got in with that, and sometimes they didn't.
That's true.
Most of the time they did, but
No, that game makes a huge difference. When they go to 18, that's really going to throw us off because
sounds like it's coming, right?
11 wins will be just above average at that point, right?
I guess. Yeah.
I just don't see them as an 11-win team. Now, of course, I saw the Browns as an over 500 team, so maybe you shouldn't listen to anything I say on this.
No,
but
I think it's one of those things that you formulate opinions on certain teams, and unfortunately, the Browns, they didn't do what the Vikings did with a backup.
right? Yeah, they certainly
quarterback.
didn't. Yeah, they
So
certainly
they
did.
didn't do what they did with the starting quarterback.
No, they didn't do anything. The Brownies.
What's funny
Let's
is
finish
about
up the
the
North
Browns
here.
is they ended up making the playoffs with Flacco, right? And then they couldn't even bring him back. They stick with Dorian Thompson. That guy's a
Dorian?
loser.
Yeah,
It's
DTR.
like, what are you doing? Like, why would you not pay the guy that made you at least to the playoffs to be a backup?
That's a good point.
He wasn't any good with the Colts this year either, but I just don't understand what the Browns are doing there. Like,
I don't think the Browns know what the Browns are doing there. It might be part of the problem.
They made one dastardly mistake, and it's going to cost
Yeah.
them into the future.
Years.
Talking.
How was the?
Some
you guys
people in
didn't-
Cleveland, they
I
were
was gonna
talking
say.
about how they'd say something about Detroit, and we'd be like, yeah, it's tough to be a Lion fan. How do you feel about us being a Browns fan?
Right.
Because they have it worse. And they're talking about how much the season tickets are there, and how.
What are season tickets there? You know?
I mean, it probably depends where you sit, obviously. But I mean, the one guy said it was like $5,000 to $7,000 for his tickets. So he was like, I'm done. We've had them forever. And another thing is, too, some people, I guess, maybe holding on to them because they're talking about putting a dome up by the airport. So I looked up what that stadium was built. It was 96. But like I said, it's it's literally like if you looked over the edge of the one side of the stadium, it'd be water. Like
Yeah. I mean, it's
so
cool.
you gotta
I
wonder
think
how the
that
winds
whole
whip
area is
in
cool.
whip in there like even on an October night. Like if if it's like 50 degrees.
Yeah.
I was kind of openly wondering because they used to call the old Indian Stadium the Mistake on the Lake. Like I wonder if they put that stadium where the old baseball stadium used to be.
Could be around Lake Ontario.
Because I
there.
really don't know how much lakefront you have to put stadiums. Like that's you don't commonly see that. So
I want to say it's Lake Erie, but
You caught it. Okay. You
know
caught it.
more
I was
about
just checking.
the Great Lakes.
it's Lake
than I
Erie.
do.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
definitely Lake Erie.
But
No pollution there.
No. That's a pretty drive, though, down like Sandusky and all that way. I like that area.
yeah,
Bri-
I mean, I
Bridge too far.
Yeah. Okay.
I just think any type of place like that, you gotta have at least the retractable, or because it's too cold. I mean, you come out there in December, you better have a hell of a team out there.
This is
And if you want it to be
cowardly
multi-use,
talk here coming from Rich.
no, I'm
Yeah,
saying if
I
you
mean,
want to
Buffalo's
host
are not exactly. Oh, they're putting heated
You go down-
heated turf in, I think, or something, right?
Well, I mean,
In
like
Buffalo,
Is that right?
I think
yeah,
so.
I think
yeah.
they're doing heated
I
turf.
don't like that either.
I'm just saying, if you want to hold, like, what place in Cleveland holds like mega concerts or something like that?
Oh, you're all about the money. I forgot.
No,
Corporate
probably
Rich
the
over there.
where the Cavs play, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that
it's
like
a
their
field house though, so those traditionally hold like 19,000. It's not like a football
Okay.
stadium where you hold 70. I'm just thinking out loud. Maybe they have a place like that down there. I don't know. It's a very theater-driven.
I heard they were
city.
going to rip the ceiling off of Ford Field.
Oh, someone said that. I heard that too. Sure, they're not.
Dale
I'm
says
sorry. So the cover, the put the bow on the story. They either got to put $1 billion into this stadium or build a new one. So that's what they're trying to figure out right now.
Gotcha. Dale in the chat says that Hotel Putt sponsored a Lions trip down to a Cleveland Browns game once. Wow.
I heard that also almost became a legal matter down there.
Ooh.
Dale Dub.
Dale, did you stay at the Hilton right across the street from Cleveland Stadium?
7 interceptions. Was that game you guys went to? 7 interceptions.
Oh,
Lions
the
team?
Detmer.
Was that tie by the by?
Yeah. Jeez.
Eric Pate.
I think the Lions were in that game too. 7 interceptions, probably only losing by 5.
I don't know. I think they got whooped in that game. I could be wrong.
And then this Ricky Martin impersonator showed up, from what I understand.
That was Vegas.
Oh, that was Vegas. Okay. Sorry, my bad.
Don't mix up Dale's stories.
My bad. All right, let's move on with this here. The Bears, they were 3.5 under their season win total. 5-12 were their record.
Oh, I think
What's
Tones
that?
from the beginning would have told you this was one of the greatest bets. Seeing how much he liked Caleb coming
He
into the
doesn't
year.
like him.
He don't like him much.
Jarrell didn't like him either. Nobody liked this guy.
He's
Bad
got some
feet.
bad feet.
Yeah, bad feet.
He got bunions. He got
Yeah, calluses,
he's
corns.
missing a toenail on one of his baby toes.
They're all yellow and thick.
Thinks he's talking to Ben
Fungus.
Johnson when he's not. I mean, he's got a lot of problems going for
Yeah.
him. So,
Was he? What do they call that? Catfished.
yeah, catfish. Anyways, I wasn't a big Caleb. I didn't really believe in him. He has no offensive line, so it's hard to see what he even really has. Until they get that fixed, I'd probably lean under at least one more year. I think Ben will get things going the right way, but I don't think he's going to do any miracle work down there, in my opinion.
I still believe in Caleb. I'm probably one of the few. But if you look at all those losses, they were all by like 3 points.
I think that's just because you drafted him first in your fantasy league. And you're
Yeah, I
trying to-
mean, that's what I did. It was a dynasty draft, and I do regret it. But I will say that,
Not me. I had the second pick.
no, you don't regret that I
Thanks, Daryl.
drafted him.
Yeah,
Thanks. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
But I will say, I mean, it was it was the pick that you probably had to make based on all the projections, right? But I obviously,
I mean, I don't think anybody would have made fun of you for going Jaden, but it certainly was the consensus.
yeah.
So, Rich, you get Jaden?
I did,
Oh, God. Man,
but
you won
Daryl
that
had the
deal.
better. He
He
still had the
almost
better
took
year.
JJ.
Yeah, well, Tones already took him. That was the problem.
Right.
This is what's hard about this shit is because 8.5 that would have looked good to me. That would look perfect.
with you. I
like
think
I
I
would
did.
have taken either side of that.
Yeah, I think I did get down on the over in some fashion.
Oh, you got on the over.
I think it was a future. Yeah, I think I had it in a future, and it didn't last long. Like I didn't win the first
Yeah.
leg of the
I tell you, a lot of
Kentucky Derby or something.
a lot of these things we have to look at, guys. Next year, you got to take the coach into consideration. Like that guy was a moron, just terrible.
Oh yeah,
He's not going to help you at all. It was like you remember the Brandon Staley guy from San Diego. Like just some guys are just not good coaches, and if they're not going to buy you a game or two, then you probably don't want to take an overshot at this team.
That's a good point.
I think that's what Putt said last week about his Denver future that he had. It was
He's saying
betting
no, he
on-
didn't know Denver.
I think he's talking about for next year, but correct me if
Oh,
I'm wrong,
okay,
Putt.
gotcha.
You had a future for Denver for 2024, and you liked that based on the coaching hire, and maybe you liked Bo Nix, not Bo Ricks.
Right. Man, you
Super
drank a lot
Cubs.
less than I did. Let's head down south, shall we? Head down south to the great state of Florida. You got the Bucks. What do you think here, Dub? I'll let you go first.
I think this one was would have been hard to bet the under. I was going to say bet against, but the under is what in my head. The under is always against. I think you'd have had to go over. I think you'd have thought they would have probably been a 9-8 team. So you're splitting hairs. You probably just don't make that bet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the future looks like. I don't think you can keep betting on.
I don't know what's the receiver situation. One guy's gone, right? Godwin,
Is he had season-ending?
right?
Yeah,
I think his
injury.
contract was up too. I know they renewed Evans.
Sure. Yeah, that
Evans.
makes sense. But yeah, I don't know what Godwin. It was definitely he didn't come back last year.
No, ACL, MCL, something, both or
Yeah.
something.
He's getting pretty old for a receiver too. I mean, I don't think I would bring him back at this point. But,
Godwin?
yeah,
He's still younger than Evans, I think.
yeah, I think so.
I wouldn't have brought either of them back. But I mean, once you get to the early 30s, that's kind of when it's not as bad as a running back, but you get to about 33, it's
Oh, I have a
The
client
sun-
calling me at 9.
sun is setting.
Oh.
No, bring him on.
No, she's.
We got all
she,
the number guys.
She wouldn't want to be on the show. I can tell you that. Oh boy, this one 8.5. This is another one. Like I thought that was probably pretty fair.
I would say so.
no.
This one might have been the hardest to handicap, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think I would touch it. I mean, it's,
I'm with you.
I mean, what's his name? The quarterback. I mean, it doesn't
Baker?
matter. Baker pulls out. I mean, he's a gamer, man. I don't know what else to say about the guy.
He really is. Yeah, that's he's the wild card in that whole offense for sure.
I mean, you can't bet on. I mean, it's hard to bet them because they beat Detroit and Philly, but then they lost to Atlanta twice.
Right.
Like, how the hell?
Right. No,
He's a-
no offense, Chris, if you're still listening.
He's the modern day Ty Detmer
Yeah, sure.
for being a gamer.
Right. Moving on. Let's also through the rest of this here. We got the
Yes.
Falcons. They were 2.5 under their projection of 10.5. 8-9 was their record.
This one seems like it would have been an obvious under.
Yeah,
to me.
it does.
I'm with you, too.
Rich, I think Rich liked the Falcons the best in that division, if I remember our conversations.
Yeah,
but I
the
mean,
show with Tia, I think we were talking about that, wasn't it?
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I have a lot to pick from. I mean, obviously, the Bucks are the one team that can. So you're picking Bucks or Falcons?
Does anybody remember that Saints start that they got off to?
Yeah, big, huge.
That was wild.
Some wacky
You
stuff.
had some Saints overs. You probably were liking it after the week 3 or whatever it was.
Yeah,
They
you-
did lose to the Chiefs, I think, right? In a splitting hairs game,
Did they?
didn't they?
Probably. Everybody played the Chiefs tough.
Like on a Sunday
Yeah.
night.
But I think they're probably going to be the next team on the list here. And that was the team that, the injuries just decimated that team.
Yeah.
More so than the Lions. And everybody says the Lions, whatnot. Of course, we did pretty well, but
Who got decimated by injuries?
Saints.
I don't think that would have made a difference. Another dumb
They
coach.
lost pretty much all their skill position players and their quarterback. I think probably made some.
They were missing a lot of receivers at one point.
Right.
And then they missed they got Spencer Rattler
was
out there.
that was the
Rattler.
bet of the
Rolling
year,
around
if I recall.
backfield.
Week
I think
5.
Kamara was out a few weeks. I mean,
Jim was a big fan of the Saints that
yeah, I
week
remember I
against
was all over him. I thought
Denver Broncos.
I was wrong again on that one.
The Broncos.
Hard year for me. Bad year for me. But,
That's the highlight of the year when you
the
were
Falcons,
so mad.
I know, man. I thought I was onto something there. Fuck that up. I was with you, D-Dub, on this. I thought this was a pretty obvious under. I know it's easy to say that after the fact, but
It'll be interesting how they going forward what they do with Cousins here. That's the biggest
that is pretty interesting. Yeah.
hangover they got. So
Yeah.
What's the contract situation?
Okay.
yeah,
How
it's a lot
about
to pay it back up.
my favorite team? I'm pulling for these guys every year.
Saints.
Even better. That fag and the Panthers, the Carolina Panthers.
Look at them pull it out too. You'll never guess that 6 weeks into the season.
Well, you set the bar so low because your quarterback is just an embarrassment. Although he looked pretty decent towards the end of the year there, but
He's in the top half of quarterbacks in the NFL.
for the week 18,
16 and 17.
yeah, 16, 17, sure. Anyway, Panthers 4.5 was their low bar, and they made 5. They got to the 5.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a guy, whenever you bring in a rookie number 1 or 2, like if they don't pop right off the start, like you get nervous. But you know, not every guy's Jaden Daniels, and when they walk in the league, and he certainly looked like he could play in the NFL the last half of this season. So, and to me, name me 2 of his receivers. I mean, we all remember Thielen. I don't even know if he finished with the team at the end of the year, but he has no skill players there. Absolutely none. The running back is, I guess, was it Chuba Hubbard? He was okay, but he's not like a star.
No, but he carried that team.
He did. He
to
really did.
a bunch of losses early on. But
Yeah.
I mean, at least he did something.
And then classic Panthers, they tried to draft that Jonathan Brooks guy out of Texas. He tore his ACL 1 game back in the year. He'll be back end of next year too. So I mean, they got to give him some type of talent to see what he can do. It'll be probably another 500 year next year, but I mean, they just got to surround them with anybody.
You think a 500 year? So you take the over if it's going to be 4.5 again,
Yeah, I
which
take
it
the
probably
over.
will be.
A little weak schedule. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. Should be an easy schedule. All right, Dub, you want to add anything there?
Nope.
No, not even worthy of your consideration.
I like the kid. I think he's got a
You
future.
like the kid,
I
eh?
do.
Okay, all right. Here is Rich had the over on this one. I think Gus. No, you did not. 7.5
I think this.
for the Saints.
I argued with Tia that the Saints are trash when she was here, and was it Tina, whatever.
I think it was me. I think you were arguing with me.
I think the Saints are trash, and I don't see any future for them going forward until they put a quarterback in a spot for them.
Not as high on Spencer Rattler as Jimmy.
I liked him. I liked their backup wide receivers.
I think they should bring in Andy Dalton. I'm with Dill here.
Yeah. Keeping Dalton around will help.
Move him over to the Saints. Trade him to the Saints for a 6th rounder.
I don't know, man. I'm not a big Carr guy, and I think everybody who's watched the show
I
knows.
mean, outside
Curtis
of
Carr?
Johnny
Yeah,
Depp,
Kurt Carrer. I'm not a big Carrer guy. He wears the eyeliner and shit. I don't like that. But I was kind of high on these guys, and then everybody got hurt. Literally, everybody got hurt. They got injury bug bit them, as they say on ESPN sometimes, right? So
Not to be confused with the weather bug
that can also bite you.
or the jitterbug.
Jitterbug. Yeah,
stink bugs are bad.
yeah. We had one in our house earlier.
Today?
My girls
Yeah.
scream every time there's a stink bug in the house.
They're scary looking.
You
They
can't
look sort
kill
of-
them. That's the problem.
They
You
look
can't
sort of, they
smash
are
them.
hard to smash.
Yeah,
They look
yeah.
sort of prehistoric.
Hard to kill, like Steven Seagal. Yeah. This was before he was out for justice. you
What else
could
you got?
tell a whole story with Steven Seagal movie titles. Do you know that?
Hard to kill.
Hard to kill.
Out for justice.
Yeah, I already said those two.
Some siege, right?
Under siege.
Yeah, he was under siege.
What else we got?
They're all
I
just
think we're
like
missing
that.
one of the first ones.
I mean,
Yeah.
definitely more of the jiu-jitsu ones or whatever.
Now
License to drive? No, license
No,
to kill?
no, we're losing viewers now. We're losing viewers.
Son of a gun.
Sorry, folks. Okay.
But yet, Steve,
we're almost done.
is interested.
We got to get through this. You got the Rams. The Rams, they were 8.5. They finished 10-7.
That number seems low. That number compared to the Redskins at 7.5, the Giants at 6.5.
Sure.
Man, I don't know. It just doesn't seem right, right?
But transport yourself back to the beginning of the season. Did you really think that they were going to be,
Right.
more than 500?
I thought.
I didn't. Oh.
I think I'm a little surprised with Darryl. I would have guessed 9.5 would have been the number, but they're like one of those, like when the season started, it looked like after that Lions week, they gave it all they had, and then everybody was hurt. Well, they 1-4, and then I think the last couple of years they get hot, and then they look like that was definitely the closest team to beat in Philadelphia in all the playoffs.
Yeah,
One
that's
of the
true.
Rams.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
That's a
hey,
tough.
Cue the Duggan
USA goal.
yeah,
I had
USA.
no perspective on that one. No perspective on that one going into it. And no perspective on it next year, although I'm sure Cup will probably...
That's a tough division there.
Anybody not coming back to them?
I think Stafford's on the training block. They said.
Well,
I
yeah.
think that's a bunch of hogwash. I don't know who started that Bologna. I think Cup, yes, but I don't think. I think Stafford will be back. He's got Puka.
Got Puka. Pookie, as Snoop would say. All right, the Seahawks, 7.5 was their magic number. They went over it by 2.5.
Wow.
10-7.
They did not make the playoffs, right? Is that right?
I don't think so.
Did not make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's
no,
tough.
they did not.
Tough division.
Yeah.
Tough
Yeah,
division of football.
Sure.
Got
Must
the
have been
Cardinals.
the Rams, the
Niners?
Well, the Niners, yeah, they.
Only one team made that.
D-Dub says, wait till next year, though, those Niners.
That's.
Wait till
I'm
next
projecting that they're going to have about 12
The Niners are
wins.
becoming the 90s Lions, where they kind of come up one year, draft top 5, and go to the playoffs the next year. And
Well, I think
That was a fun-
they're the next one on the list, actually.
A fun time to be a Lions fan when you could expect that they might be really good or expect that they might get a really high draft pick.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't really know.
well, we can tell we're all super excited about the Seahawks' future. But I heard they brought back the coach, Pete Carroll. Oh wait, he's on the Raiders. My bad.
That's
They brought back Michael McDonald.
Not to be confused with Mike McDonald.
You don't know me, you're my brother.
Seahawks, I think they're stuck in the mud. Give me 8-8, 9-8, 7-9 all day until they change some stuff up. Average, kind of all the way around, if you ask me.
Yep, Rich would have took the under. I agree with you. I'm not a big Seahawks wonk. Okay, we got cards.
Maybe the best jerseys in the league, but outside of that.
Yeah, I like that iridescent, kind of what I'm wearing right now. In fact, the cards, they were 1.5 over. 6.5 was the magic number to start with here. Dub, you're a big cards guy.
Yeah, I think. So who's the quarterback there? Kylo Ren?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray.
Dub.
I think he is another one where he's better than you think. He is a
Is he?
little fella.
Is he better than you think?
Yeah,
Where would you rank him?
somewhere between 20 and 1. Closer to 20. Closer to 20.
I was thinking 15 to 20, so I'm with you, but I mean, that's below average.
Marvin Harrison Jr. dud, possibly.
No,
I don't.
stud.
I didn't.
Stud?
I didn't see him as the NFL. Right now, there's a kid at Ohio State that's name is Smith. I forget his first name.
Yeah,
That kid's gonna be a superstar.
you didn't see.
I never
Harrison
saw
Jr.
that out of Harrison Jr. And he was getting the same kind of respect
A lot of
when he was in
respect.
college.
Yeah,
and
sure.
I think he'll be a pretty good wide receiver, but I don't think he's all pro caliber.
Better or worse than Carl Pickens?
Probably a comparable career, but
That's my NFL comparable to Harrison, like a Carl Pickens career. He'll be good 8 to 9 years, put up $1,200 a year sometime. But like you're saying, I don't think, maybe not superstar.
yeah,
level,
I
right?
think he'd be a good number 2. When he's right now, he's their go-to guy.
I'll tell you what,
And it didn't really.
who's the ultimate Carl Pickens guy is the guy on the Steelers. That guy reminds me of him all day, every
The
day.
other Pickens?
yeah, what's his
Kenny?
No, that's
No.
that's
Oh,
different.
that's the QB. I'm thinking
George
Wilson.
Pickens.
George
George Wilson.
George Wilson.
Is it George Pickens? Maybe
God
somebody
damn,
in the
we should
chat.
know this.
Not Cotton
Talking about
Pickens.
the loudmouth guy, the loudmouth.
Yeah,
motherfucker?
a little bit.
What's his name?
He's a little bitch.
He went
kind
to what,
of.
Georgia,
Yeah.
or he's a big bitch, probably. He's
Yeah.
a little taller.
Well, he went to
than-
Georgia.
He is taller. I think he did go to Georgia.
I'm gonna say George.
George Pickens.
You know, I have the funny thing is I have his damn helmet in my office, and I still don't know his name.
You stare at his signature
Really?
every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy was selling it for like $150. I was like, Psh, authentic helmets worth that alone.
Did you hear what Kevin said about your San Diego Chargers helmet?
Yeah, I saw him liking it. Did he wear it last week?
He said he'd wear that thing in the car if it was his.
By the way, this is an aside. I lost my Cubs hat. I don't know where that went.
What? The Mr. Midwest
Yes,
birthday hat?
the hat that Rich got me it sits here on my desk every
I
week.
think you might have gave that to Kevin last week.
Did I give it to
I
Kevin?
think you did.
Oh shit! I wish I
Wow.
didn't do that now.
Yeah, you said, oh yeah, it says Mr. Midwest on it, but it's yours.
Oh shit!
Pretty
Hey, Kev, hope
sure.
you
That's
enjoy
all right.
that. In hindsight, I wish I didn't give you that hat.
We'll get you a bigger size for
well,
your,
shit,
for
I-
your
Hey.
noggin.
For all those kids out there, lay off the 9.5% IPAs.
That's it leads to large cranium. This is the last one, I think. This is the last one, and this is the Dubs. I know you want to talk about this one. I can't believe I gave Kevin that hat. I love that hat.
I would bet the under on this one if I could go back in time. Like if there was a time machine
you
here.
would have took the under? Yeah, I think so. 11.5. This was probably the largest number on the board.
You mean you
right?
would have gone back in time and placed a couple overs on it?
I would have taken the under. I would just want to make that be known.
You had Biff's almanac. You would have done
If I
that.
had
Yeah.
a time machine, I wouldn't even need yesterday's paper.
All right. So honestly, if you did have the almanac, though, Daryl, like you would have to lose some bets on purpose.
Well,
Otherwise, you would not look legit. Like you'd have to
Even-
go at a 70% clip, maybe, and you'd be like the best gambler in the history of the world. But you don't
mean-
want people knowing you have the almanac.
how would you? I mean, you'd have to know what time period you're going into, right?
Well, not really, because there was a future. It was for the future, so he already knew. They already had the results on there as he was placing the bets.
What I'm getting at is some of that stuff you can just do on your head even without the almanac, right? You'd probably, if you were transported back to 1985, you're probably betting the Villanova Wildcats.
Oh, you're saying just if you went backwards and you already knew the
Well,
results.
what point in time are you going, right?
I know what Rich is saying. If you're in the same point in time at all
Right.
times, then you're going to have to lose some. You have to. We all know
you
you're going to
you
get
don't
limited.
want people tipped off that you know
You
everything.
probably go
Right,
to Vegas
right.
and you probably spread that stuff around. You're going to stations.
Go to the
You're going to the strip.
stations,
You're going downtown.
Right.
You're going to hit the Rio and the Palms.
Yeah, you form a syndicate and
You're going to go to the West Wind
yeah.
Superbook.
What do you think? I bet a book would pay you an awful lot of money if you already knew this stuff. Maybe worth more because you're not going to get limited. It would probably be worth more than actually betting it yourself. If you could just tell them what the outcome's going to be, and they can handicap it accordingly, right?
I just think I don't want to end up in a back room when I win $10 million on the Super Bowl every year. Like after a while, those guys know something.
Wait till we cash these Pistons tickets, buddy. FanDuel
We're going to be banned
is coming.
from FanDuel.
They're going to be coming here.
Hopefully, FanDuel won't talk to DraftKings or MGM.
Yeah, hopefully not.
We'll have a little more life here.
I'm going to wrap this up with
Detroit.
not necessarily shocked that under an 11.5 did not come home. Although this team, that 49ers team, brimming with talent. There is probably not a more talented on paper team.
Well, they're not
they-
going to
in
have
the
Debo
NFL.
next year, though.
And I think they screwed up when they re-signed Ayuk.
Yes,
They
I
should have
think
just
so.
let him go.
Gotta let-
and now they
gotta
got
let some
that
talent
contract
go.
to deal with.
Just like the Lions are. They're going to have to let some guys go here in the future.
I have a feeling one might be Jameson.
I think
I
so.
would think so. Yeah, I would think so.
Not a shocker, is what you're saying.
Let's take a look at our top pick standings. Richie down 22 for his lifetime here in the numbers, guys. Which we were a little concerned. We thought maybe your lifetime was coming to an end, Rich. Last week there was talk that you may be ill, but turns out you're just in
It was
Cleveland.
hit or miss.
Yeah, hit or miss. This is what's interesting now. So D-Dub down 10.67, a fall from grace, not as epic as mine. Tones, though, down 11.15. You guys are less than a unit
This
apart.
might be the week.
This could be the week.
This might be the week that he overtakes me.
Less than a unit apart for second place. I'm up a whopping 4.4 as a group. We're down 39.53. And this
In the
is
green.
after 1,508 units played through. So roughly
I bet you this
150,000
ranks
we've
among top 50%.
put through. Yeah, I would think so. And let's start. Top picks. Hold on.
These are the top picks.
Richie, go for it.
Yeah, so this one's kicking off. I'm with Daryl. I actually really like Maryland, and I especially like when the teams go from West Coast to East Coast travel and doesn't seem to go well. Especially if you're an okay or you're a top tier team, you can hang on that trip. You might be able to cover some of the bigger lines, but if you're those bottom feeders, they seem to have trouble hanging around. They get tired quickly. 11.5 is a lot to lay, but I like Maryland's team as well, and I like them at home. So
The USC, they had that big win at Illinois.
they did,
you remember.
which doesn't look as good as a win right now. Illinois is kind of struggling a little bit, but
It's a good win, but that was one that it's not all the way on the East Coast. It's in the Midwest, and also they may have stayed in. They played Indiana like 3 days before that, so I don't know if they stayed in town and then just made the small
You would think they would, right?
commute. I mean, it's right in Indiana, Bloomington, and
Yeah.
Champaign-Urbana.
I think if you look at the schedule, they try to set it up that way. So when I think Oregon played Michigan, then they played Michigan State. Well, some people from Michigan disagree.
Some people just want to say the name wrong.
Yeah, sure. And that was a 2-unit play,
Oh.
by the way. It was a 2-unit play. All right. This one's not classified. Let's find out what this means.
The Red Dragon. Is that street legal?
This got mixed up with my first. So the Red Dragons are Wrexham, and they're plus 135, and they're playing some Stratham something. Anyways, that's the pick. It's Sunday morning, 10 o'clock. But the funny part is I picked this game, this Northwestern at Ohio State. I had this game locked and loaded, but it was a 6:30 game, so I knew the show was going to start after that game, so I took it off my list.
Okay. So
But-
this is Stratham?
Yeah, that's who they're playing. Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So
Gotcha.
Going to take the plus 135, just 1-unit play though. Something to get you warmed up on Sunday.
And that is a, what is that called?
That's a
Which-
League One battle.
League One. La Liga? Something like that?
No, that's
No?
Spanish.
That's Spanish. This is just League One.
It's called League One.
Okay, League One it is. I'll do Tones. Well, I'm not going to do Tones, but I'll do Tones' pick. Tones' pick.
I saw this 51st state. I liked it.
He's got, the 51st state, that's Canada, at the United States of America. USA money line, and then over 5.5. And what are they at? 2 goals right now going into the second period.
Well, you certainly got to like it's going to
So-
go over, right? So
Yeah,
now
this
he's-
could be,
Should go over
this
by
could
a full
be,
half a goal.
could be the one. All the way from Florida, Tones sends in that pick. And I'm going to cut forward here for you, D-Dub.
Smash cut.
Yeah, I'm going to find and see if I can get your pick here. It's all the way at the end. Oh, if anybody wants this, I do have Crying Chuck's beer-infused guacamole recipe still. I got that ready to go. That's on here. What else we got? Here's the instructions for that. I keep some of these graphics here. So that's why when Dubs puts this shit in
I feel
right
us
before the
losing
show,
a lot
I
of viewers right now.
have to go through all
How many
these.
viewers we got right now, Jimmy?
About 500 and something.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Hold on. Let me refresh this. Go to the end and go to the slideshow. Okay. Here it is. There you go, buddy.
It's a parlay. It's a parlay involving different sports. And it starts tonight. I already told you about it, technically. So just to reiterate, USA Hockey, the money line.
USA.
They're tied going into period 2, 1-1. I'm pairing that up with the MSU basketball money line tomorrow night. What time is that game at, Richie?
I don't know. Late?
Tomorrow
Might be
night?
late, right?
I think it's at 8, maybe at the latest, but hopefully it's at 8, not 7 or 6:30.
Right.
Big Ten wants to squeeze these games in on Friday nights at
Why?
like 6:30. Don't get it.
Don't get it all.
This is going to win you back 3.5 units. Would love to have the USA bet in pocket. And then You could hedge off of that Spartan money line if you like, if you're a coward.
Yeah.
But I do like the Spartans' chance. I do like Michigan as well, but I do think it's a good spot for MSU. Do what you will with that.
Do what you will. It pairs well. Spartans basketball pairs well, like chips with crying chucks.
I
Some of
can
the
see
best
that.
guacamole that I think we've all ever had.
I didn't try
Certainly.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. You had
up,
something
Frank?
added, Rich. Oh, Frank Hunter. Hey. What's going on, Frank? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining the show. I'm surprised I'm having 11-year-olds on the show tonight.
Oh,
That's okay. Got to be
That's
careful
Jimmy's
what we
friend.
say now. Yeah. What's going on, Frank?
Hit the like button.
Hit the like button, Frank. Don't forget to subscribe. Otherwise, I'll tell your parents. I'm just messing with you. Okay, I got 2 picks tonight. We got women's tennis, one of my favorites. This is over in Dubai. I'm doing this a little differently this week. This is for Snoop. I'm doing this for Snoop. I'd like to dedicate this pick to Snoop. I'm taking Rybakina over Mira Andreeva 2-1. So this is a set bet.
Oh, boy.
You're going to take it 2-1. It's basically an exacta. The reason why I did this is I have Rybakina having an advantage here on the hard courts, the outdoor hard courts at Dubai. I don't have those numbers in front of me. But, my wife's in the chat too. Hi, Casey's channel. I love you, honey. She says Jimmy told him about it. Wow. Jimmy doing some marketing.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Somebody
yeah.
likes you.
Don't forget to slide into our DM. So plus 310, 1 unit on this one. And then I have Mukova 2-1 over Clara Towson. 330 plus 330 again in Dubai. This is in the semifinals over there, and I think these are both going to be really close matches. And I just think that Bukova has a slight edge, and I think Rybakina has a slight edge. So let's think they're going to go 3. I'm going to take home 6+ units here, and away we go. Numbers guys trivia. I gotta give out those trivia answers. I only had 2 picks this week. By the
That's
way.
it, eh?
That's it. Yeah, I gotta
Different
get
way
right
for
here,
you
buddy.
to bet women's tennis. I'm curious how this one goes.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious
You've
too.
been quite cold in the ladies' tennis
Well, I
world.
appreciate your paying attention.
Yeah, I've been betting them.
I have been quite cold. I mean,
You lost them all.
That bad
I think you've lost them all
out of the last 3, maybe
this year.
Yeah, but win a lot of golf
I've
lately.
been tailing
win
on
a lot of golf. How many golfs you win lately on the show? Well,
I only
but
bet
I don't know.
one.
You've been quite cold. Well, you lost the last one, didn't you? You fuck.
I'd chime in, but I have 22 units lost.
That's true. Sorry about the F word there, Frank. I know you've never heard anything like that before. Okay, let's put this here on the screen. Numbers guys trivia. The question was, how many times has Tiger Woods, plus or minus 1, by the way, won the PGA Tour Player of the Year title? So how many times has Tiger won the PGA Tour Player of the Year title?
What are you thinking there, Richie?
I had 12.
Oh man, I think you got me, buddy.
Richie says 12.
I think you got me.
What did you have?
Dub
I'm your 9.
says 9.
I don't know. It's probably going to be like 10, 11 or 10.
Yeah, so what could be correct here?
I think
for
you're pretty much covered here, Jim.
Between
isn't
8
it?
and
think I'm
13
okay.
would be good.
Yeah. Correct response was 11. Woo! I'm not buying the beer next week.
Son of a biscuit.
Damn it. Yes, I like it. Hold on.
That was a tight one. That's a good question. Right on the edge there.
Yeah.
It's funny because I
good.
had 10. I had 10 queued up and I didn't do it.
You had 10 queued up. Well, 10 would have worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
would have hurt you.
10 would have been perfect. Yeah, both of us would have had it.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, Richie got it. Yeah. Okay, I was going to say. So, yeah, Dubs is buying it. Okay. 11. He won all these years. It's a record, by the way. 11 times.
Look at that
So,
young Tiger.
record.
Man, he doesn't look anything like that.
No, he
They
doesn't.
showed him storming the court at Stanford versus
Yeah.
somebody the other night.
Back in the day,
Arizona?
it was hat backwards.
Wow.
Those
I
were the
I
days.
feel such a sense of relief.
Yeah, you've been buying them beers.
It's getting expensive. I'm having a hard time buying food now because I've been buying so much
You
beer for the
can't
numbers
use
guys.
the bridge card on beer.
No, they told
on
me that.
IPAs.
EBT, no
That's the
way,
problem.
baby.
The stamps only go so far.
It says EBT, IPA, no. No.
No,
All right.
no.
Man, we're
bueno?
almost to the end of the show here in under 2 hours. How about some shout outs, guys? Richie?
Yeah, shout out Team USA. Shout out.
Shout out.
We can't. We got some news on the Lauren thing, but we got to keep it under wraps for a couple more weeks. but she could be coming within a mile radius of her office around here. So you guys might be having lunch together
That
soon.
would be fun.
Shut up.
Have to let her know all the
At
cool
the studio?
places.
Shut up.
If we lay down some sheets.
There's a sheets coming by.
No. We're not going to have crumbs all over here. We're not eating lunch up here. It's not going to be a.
Oh, not in the studio. No,
We're going to have a mice problem.
the only thing we are allowed here is tres leches. No other food is allowed in the studio.
Shut up.
Okay, Richie.
Yeah, that's about it. Shout out to the city of Cleveland for keeping me warm for a couple nights.
Shut up.
That's nice.
That is nice. Built you a fire.
They knew how to make a good paper plane there, I will say.
Oh. See, you did leave the hotel room for
Of
cocktails.
course. Actually, you know what was funny? They put us on the 32nd floor, which was the top floor,
Oh, nice. and
and there was a bar up there called Bar 32, and it was literally
get that
150 feet from my hotel room. I've never been that close to a bar in my life. Like that was
Wow.
I was up there the first night, went right to the bar, then went right to bed.
Yeah, I could see my stay getting a lot more expensive if that was the case.
That was nice.
Yeah. Dub,
Shut up.
Shout out to my son, Holden. He just played his last JV basketball game.
what do you
So,
score? Maybe
Holden.
9 or so?
9 points.
Shut up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
He
for
made
him.
2 triples.
Sounds like he got better as the season progressed.
He missed 2 triples. So
Yeah, 50%
50%
from behind
Say
the
it.
arc. Yeah.
Shut
I
up.
think I might have missed 9 triples in one game in JV basketball once.
He must have just kept tossing up triples.
I had to
Shut up.
quick trigger.
Yeah, yeah.
So shout out to
awesome.
him. Good. He's a good boy. Always proud of him. Always makes me proud.
Sure.
So shout out.
Oh, shout out to
Shout out.
Elaine for making me some really good sugar cookies and for a good cause as well.
Elaine's
Shout
out there hustling. She's a hustler.
She is.
I don't like the sound
Nah,
of that.
sounds weird.
She knows how to raise a dollar. I don't like the sound of that either.
Shut up.
She's a good girl too.
She's really good
Raised
at
some
conversation
money?
when you show up with the goods.
Sure. She's
Shut
the
up.
kind of person that just likes to help out, and
Yeah.
she always jumps into anything. And she'll probably one day she could be working on your car outside,
Never know.
changing your
Shut
oil.
up.
Yeah.
She could be
Shelby,
Mother Teresa.
doing your taxes, or setting up a photo shoot. You never know what you're gonna get with her. So shout out
Shut up.
shout out to her as well.
she helped me assemble a desk one time.
Yeah, she's
Didn't expect that.
She's a
Shut up.
better
Yeah.
person than I, and she almost
Yeah.
we were-
You watched me assemble a desk while she helped me.
because
Shut up.
we almost started calling her Dudio because she was gonna be the dude that was gonna build the studio. You had the boxes up here, and she was about to dig into that stuff. She's like, "Can I hang up these pieces here, the like styrofoam looking pieces?"
Yeah. See, I'm a bit of a control freak. It's like, nah,
So-
don't touch that shit. Sorry,
Yeah,
lady.
and she's kind
Don't
of
touch
like,
it.
I don't know if you would get along with her, and my wife as well. She takes after my wife, I think, more than me.
Yeah.
And that she sees something, an opportunity, she jumps in, starts getting her hands into it. Where I'm the kind of person who's like, I'm gonna think about this. I'm gonna measure 4 or 5 times
Yeah.
before I
Maybe
do
have
the
a couple
cutting.
beers.
She's gonna like measure once, cut, and
Yeah.
I will
figure out
say
how
you
to make it
guys
work.
are perfectly balanced
Oh.
from afar. You got you and Holden are 2 peas in a pod, and Elaine and Angie are very similar. So thank God you guys are evened out and you stopped at 2 because there would have been an imbalance,
an
imbalance in
imbalance.
the force.
Sure. Wow. Who do I got this week? I'm gonna give Frank Hunter.
Yeah.
How you doing, Frank?
what's your
Thanks for-
social security number, Frank?
No, he doesn't give out his soch. He knows better than that. He's big into Fortnite though. He likes
got-
tractors.
I got $20, 5 to 1. Says he didn't know his social security number.
He probably doesn't know his address. So can't imagine him knowing his social security number. So yeah, that's what I got this week. Shout out Frank. Shout out to everybody that stuck around with us. We're under 2 hours this week. We're making up for last week's indulgence of the show.
As Joe Buck would say, "Wow!"
Wow. But we will, folks. We will be back. Tones will be back next
Or
week.
he
too.
says, "What a disgusting
That's a
act."
disgusting
Yeah, he
act.
does. You like that.
You don't think
He
you
just
say
said
that
that
about
this
the
year.
show, do you?
Well, maybe.
That's a
Well,
disgusting
I don't think
act.
so. I don't think so. I mean,
Richard's got his fly down. That's a disgusting act.
that wasn't on purpose. You know, if he did it on purpose, I think that would be a disgusting act. Can't put that shit
I sit
on.
at my desk a
on
lot all
YouTube.
day. What can I say?
Sits at his desk. Hard to get work done from up there.
What does that have to do with your fly being there?
I got lots of
Drag it
lotion
down.
on my desk.
Don't know
come
what
on.
that means either.
Tones isn't here this week, Rich. Let's
That's my shout out
leave
to
that
Tones.
kind of. Yeah,
Have a
yeah,
good
that's right.
time.
Yeah, we'll give a shout out to
You think Tones is
Shut up.
watching?
I think so. He wished us luck. I think he might catch up on the ride home. Probably is what I'm thinking from Florida. I doubt. I hope he's not sitting there on the beach watching this.
drove?
That would be. No, the flight home, the ride, whatever.
the ride.
That reminds me of another song from that WrestleMania CD. It was sung by Jimmy Hart and the Wrestling Boots Band. It had to do with being on the beach, but I can't remember the name of the song.
Let's see if we
Sincerely, I think it was called. Sincerely, the Wrestling.
let's see if we can
Boots.
cue some of this up for next week,
Yeah.
possibly.
That's a
I have no
classic.
problem with that.
If you had $10 back in the day, you could have bought 5 of them.
No,
Yeah.
no Jimmy
Bargain
Buffett
bin.
involved in this beach song.
I don't think so. He did do the album, the soundtrack to what was the John Candy movie? Not Great Outdoors, but
Uncle Buck,
no, the one where he's on the beach and he's walking through holding.
summer rental.
Yes,
Wow.
he's carrying a cooler,
Yeah,
and just like the cooler that my parents had, it leaked. Out the spigot,
oh yeah, the little hole.
and
Yeah,
he's walking down through the beach and he's spilling it on the gals and the bikini clad gals on the
yeah.
beach.
Oh yeah, been there.
See ya.
On that note, we'll see you guys next week. Bye bye. See ya, Frank. See ya, wife. Love you guys.
Your mother's maiden name.
You gonna try to open a credit card account?
He's got to replenish that DK.